All right, we're back. Hopefully, you waited for us through the break, but we're back and we're gonna start a session of Techlandia. I have with me Dan Ackerman, and Dan is the designer of this game. And our basic goal is going to be to stop the end of the world. Nothing big, nothing outlandish today. We're gonna stop a strange corporation from releasing their new cell phone and destroying everything that we know and love. So the basic layout of the board you're going to be able to see on the screen here. These hexes are different rooms inside a release party for a new phone. And both of us are going to start in the welcome center. And then essentially we're going to move around through the board. And we're going to be trying to search for and find QR codes that will maybe let us through the security gate into the elevator where we can stop the end of the world. The mechanics are pretty much that you have actions every turn. You can move around, you can search the rooms, and you'll see there'll be a little bit of combat if we run into any monstrous employees of the corporation. And then Dan and I will both be able to do the searching and attacking and gathering, and screw each other over a little tiny bit, kind of in a nice way. And if we fail with our searching, bad things will happen, encounters will occur. And then also we have a little bit of gear that you'll see that we can use to change die results and maybe switch places with each other. It's I'd say it's a simple rule set, but it ends up allowing for like kind of a lot of different scenarios to occur inside of it. So we both get to choose a character. Dan, if you don't mind, I will choose you at random.
Great.
Okay, so these characters are cool. The miniatures are extremely evocative of some tech bloggers. They're all holding coffee or books. There's a woman with kind of like a karate chop kind of position, which I like. So we're going to start, and I believe I'm right on that, right? That we start in the welcome center, right? Not the press room? Okay, cool. And before the game started, I actually randomized these 4 rooms on the outside. Every single session starts with the same 4 rooms in the middle, in this exact order. And then I randomized these 4 tiles, and now I'm going to flip them over, and we're going to see what location. Now, you'll see some are red and some are blue, and we just got a server room, red. Conference room, which is also red. Now, those mean that they're more dangerous.
Slightly more dangerous.
If you search and you fail, an enemy is going to appear, and you're going to get an encounter. Am I right on that?
I think you get an encounter card if you fail, and you
lose a turn.
Have you lose a turn.
That's right.
If you succeed, ironically, you do spawn an enemy because you've been snooping around and found something, and they hear that.
Right.
Oh, nice! This is a great layout.
Yeah. All right. Cool. And then the room, a couple rooms are special. The press room you can go into and actually pick a gear card up, but you can only do that once per turn. So you can only get one piece of gear per turn. So if you start playing your gear cards and you run out of gear, that's how you refresh your hand of gear cards. The security room is where you're going to eventually go to try to use your QR codes to get through security, get into the elevator. And then these other rooms are the rooms we're going to have to search. Each player has to search all 4 rooms on the outside. So if you think about this room marked number 1, 2, 3, and 4, you need to search all of them. And each player needs to get 4 QR code pieces, is what they're called. You'll see that we each, Dan has one of these phone cards. And what do you call those, Dan? I'm sorry, I don't have the top of my head.
I think the smartphone dashboard.
Smartphone dashboard, which is essentially where we keep track of our progress. And so Dan has one here, and then I have one here. So Dan's I scanned in earlier, so he can actually interact with it himself.
Awesome.
And mine is just sitting on the board, and he can zoom in on it if he wants to see what progress I've made as well. And so the last thing I think we need to do is we need to roll die to figure out how many gear cards we're going to get to start the game.
And the skill, and I'm just going to make one quick switch for you.
Okay.
Version of the rules you have. Take the press room tile and the security tile and swap them.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that is different from mine. The press room was in the central.
Okay. I think we changed that after a bunch of testing because we wanted to make it a little harder to get to that press room.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, because if it's in the middle, you can always get to it really quick.
Right.
Yep. Gotcha.
And there were really little borders around it where you can only go. But we took the border pieces out and just said, "Oh, let's just swap this," and it ended up working great.
Okay. Cool. All right. So there you go. breaking news. We got new rules being shown. Okay. So, Dan, I did not tell you how to use dice in Vorpal. So,
Okay.
uh,
Find it.
to do the, did you find them yet? Oh,
I
okay.
see
Okay.
no dice here.
Yeah. So there's this little die. There's a little die up here or a
Okay.
big die, I guess. Click on that, and that will open up a drawer for your dice. And the easiest way to add in a D6 is just to hit Add All to Bag,
Okay.
and then you'll see a D6, a D8, and a D12 were added. And then if you just change it to only roll 1d6, if you hit roll dice,
Okay. And I get 0 for the other ones.
you're going to get a die result. And then you
Okay.
can close your dice drawer by hitting that die again up in the top left.
Oh, yep.
And then anytime you hit that blue button, now will be that dice roll you set up.
Oh, nice.
So,
Oh, great.
yeah, you get a little audio cue, of course. It's the same audio every single time. We're going to vary it up a little bit, I think, in the future because it drives you a little bit crazy. But for folks at home, all the dice rolling that this game requires is going to be a single D6 when you're doing searching and when you're doing fighting. And you'll see kind of how that works as we go. All right, so Dan, you want to roll for how much gear you end up with?
Yeah, but first I'm going to pick a skill.
Oh, good point. Yeah, I keep forgetting
I'm going
that.
to grab one of these little tokens here, and I'm going to pick. Memes because that's the funniest one. You have to pick a blogger skill, either spyware, disinformation, or memes.
Right, and so that will come into play when we start fighting enemies. If you happen to match the skill of the enemy, you get to re-roll your die one time. Yes. All right. You get for memorizing rules. Okay, so we both have skills. I chose spyware, and
Cool.
Dan chose memes. And now we're going to roll to see how much gear we start. Essentially, thematically, you're rolling to how prepared of a blogger you are for this particular release. If you roll a 1, you only get 1 gear card.
I believe so. Yes.
If you roll I believe a 2 through 5.
A 2 through 4.
A 2 through 4. Okay.
3, and 5 or 6 you get 5.
5. Okay, so
you have more, but you can't have more than 5. They're actually very powerful.
And getting 5 gear cards out of the gate is a really good thing. So
Yeah,
we'll see if either of us end up with that. So you go first.
Okay, I'm gonna roll the die and get a 4. Okay.
All right, so you get 3 gear cards. The first kind of card scanning that we've done this evening, and sort of the way that this is going to work is I'm going to scan Dan's gear cards in, and then they'll appear up here. You'll see they appear up here, and then Dan can actually grab them and pick them up for himself.
Okay, I'm going to add it to my hand, and I drag it over here to my side.
Yep, and so then you can keep it over there.
Oh, that's a good one.
Scan in these other gear cards.
Okay. I'm going to put that over here, and I say that you can keep these face up, face down, however you feel.
You actually you do sometimes have people play face up?
I leave it up to the person. It literally says rules, however, whatever you feel about it.
Okay, cool. So I'm gonna move these. I know you can't see where I have the camera, camera. So I'm gonna move it down a little bit.
Oh, got it.
If you can just keep them there, that would be perfect for me. Okay, cool.
Let's see, what did I get? Okay, cool. I got Smooth Talker, which is great. I got PR Guy Owes You a Favor, and got the receipts.
Right.
Which means you save all the incriminating emails you get.
Oh, yeah, of course. I got the receipts, baby. All right, so I'm going to roll. And I got a 4, which is the same 3 gear cards. Grab my... All right, so I got the NFC reader, extra business cards, and the hip flask. Which hip flask, I just like that idea that's a key piece of gear for here.
You're in the journalism game. That sounds very familiar.
Yeah. Cool. Okay, so we all have our gear. We have our skills. And do you have a mechanic where you decided who would be the first person to play?
I don't. I think it's generally whoever feels like being aggressive and grabbing it for it first.
Well, I think you're seeming a little bit more aggressive than me.
Oh,
Dan.
all right. So let's see. Often I start off by reading. There's a little prepared kind of intro speech in the rule book that it says read it in a cool movie guy voice.
Right.
I won't do the whole thing, but basically you are a B-level tech blogger, which I find hilarious just as a concept, And this big company called Techlandia has invited everyone to the unveiling of its new smartphone. You've heard some bad rumors about it, but not being a very high level, tech person, you were not invited. So you got to sneak in. So basically, we're sneaking past the velvet rope, sneaking around the company headquarters, and trying to get past the gatekeeper into the event, so we can take the next step in diffusing this interdimensional conspiracy. So in order to do that, I start off in the welcome center. You know what? We have to make our little. You know what? The rules might have changed just a tiny bit,
Okay, that's fine.
but nothing changes with the components.
Okay.
I'm going to pull the location cards because you have the location cards there.
Yep.
It's funny. This iterates much like software, so I have a hard time remembering who has what version.
Oh yeah, no, that's totally fine. Oh yeah, and I did think I have to get rid of.
Okay, yeah, grab the cards that we have on the table.
Yeah,
basically.
the only ones that are in there will be the ones we have on the table.
Right.
Right? Yeah.
So you have the version where you pull the cards to determine where things go.
No, I don't think so.
Okay.
Yeah, I just forgot. I forgot to take them out of the deck afterwards.
Okay,
so,
cool.
Yeah. Let's see. Conference room. We have.
There's a little description, and it's kind of funny. It tells you what they are. If you've been in any kind of business environment or gone to trade shows or press events, it's all pretty. It'll all strike a chord.
Yeah, everything is. It's very clear that this is coming from a career of being at these events.
Coming from a place of love.
Yeah. Right. Oh yeah. Yeah. Nothing. None of it is mean spirited.
Total mean spirited.
Yeah, a little bit. This is about a technology company trying to destroy the world. So, just a little. Okay. And then one thing we didn't discuss before starting was the doomsday clock.
Yes.
So essentially this gets cut down every single turn. So it starts at 20 and then it'll move its way through. There are encounters and events that can make it go down sometimes and essentially speed up the doomsday clock. The red numbers on the doomsday clock, whoops, I right-clicked there. The red numbers on the doomsday clock cause events to happen. So this big kind of, it's almost like a thematic kind of story deck. Every time you hit one of these red cards, or red numbers, a new one of these cards will appear. And the first one, this is the way the story beats are told. And this one is Ride, Share, or Die. Essentially, it's exactly what Dan summarized. You pull up to the building. There are reporters and bloggers everywhere, and you're going to try to expose the truth behind this nefarious phone plot. All right, so your turn, Dan.
All right, so I am going to take my character and move over to the open bar with one of my 2 actions.
You are the kind of vaguely karate chop. It's hard to tell from above.
And she's doing something, and
yep.
She's actually been replaced by this character in the new version.
Oh, cool! Very good.
More personality now, and big headphones and stuff.
Yeah.
The other guys are actually mostly the same.
Okay. Yep.
So now that I'm in the room, that's the open bar, and I'm going to search that room. I'm going to try to find one of these QR codes. In order to do that, I have to roll a die. Now, if I get an even, that's a success. If I get an odd, that's a failure. But I can try to modify that roll with my gear cards. Let me see if I have one that would help me. I got one that lets me re-roll a die. I have one that lets me move to another room, and one that removes an enemy. So I could do a re-roll if I wanted to spend this card, but since we only have 3, it might be good to save them because they are pretty powerful. Yeah, I'm going to roll a die. Oh, I got a 3.
Ooh.
So you know what? I'm gonna take my medicine, and I'm going to take an encounter card.
Yeah.
And we're just going to read that out loud, and whatever happens, happens.
Where did I leave my phone? Did you try the lost and found? Lose a turn while you look for it. That's
all right. There you go. And since the clock is ticking down on everybody, losing a turn actually has, a great punitive value here.
So I'm gonna, just to remind us that you're losing a turn, I'm gonna lay you down so that nice. I can tell that you're losing a turn. Now, does that kick in immediately? The lose a turn?
Well, that was my second action. So
oh, okay, yeah. So then it doesn't matter. Okay.
That's the end of my turn.
All right. So I'm going to move. I hate those red rooms, man, because I just know that it's gonna. But you're already losing a turn now anyway, so I'm gonna move to the server room, and I am going to do a search in the server room.
Man, we're not getting any luck.
No rolls. All right, so now I get an encounter. I'm gonna lose a turn, and when I get the encounter card, long restroom line. Should have skipped the second coffee. Lose 1 turn. So
oh man,
this is something that came up with my wife and I the other night, Dan, that I was going to inquire with you about.
Yeah.
Do those stack?
Um, I've never had them stacked. That's interesting. I guess if you get two, they would stack. If you play solo
Yeah.
and you lose a turn, you just move the doomsday clock forward one extra step.
Okay. So
So
it does kind of seem like it should
like what
stack.
happened here, so we should just move it one immediately.
Okay. So essentially we're both out. So we're gonna move down to 19,
Mm-hmm.
and
But that's
then
the end of the round, and because we both lost our
we're
turns,
gonna go down 18. Yeah.
ooh, well, that's not good.
And you're
All
gonna be standing up, and then in
right.
theory, I'm still down. If we're stacking if I lose 2 turns, right?
Oh,
I would
no, you don't lose a. Oh, no, I guess you're right. Actually, that's a good point. This is why we develop rules and do playtest.
right. Yeah, that was one of the things that was one that I didn't think was
I'm going to
represented
say
in the
we don't
rules.
stack them. That's it. You take your punishment. There's a lot of punching things in this game. We should make
Okay.
it clear for people. No stacking. Declared.
All right, so no stacking. All right.
Love it. Okay, so I guess I'm going to roll the die again and try to search this room.
Sounds good.
I need to fill in my card here, and I got a 6, so that's fantastic.
Okay.
So what you do now is first I'm going to give myself credit for searching. That's room 4. You go 1, 2, 3, 4 clockwise.
Yeah,
So I'm
1,
going to put
2.
a marker, if anybody can see this, and put it on room number 4 on my smartphone dashboard. So that's great. And I get a QR code. So I've marked off one of those. And now we have to determine, you know what? I'm sorry. I'm going to take this QR code off because I don't have it yet. We have to spawn it. So you take the location deck
Yep.
and you flip over the top 2 cards.
Top 2 cards, and the first one is server room.
Okay, so that's where you put the QR token. So that's good for you.
Good for me. And then the second room is open bar.
And that's where the enemy spawns.
That's bad for
That's
you.
where I am. See, I successfully investigated the room and I still get screwed.
Yeah, you did get screwed over there. Okay, so the QR code piece is now in my room, which is going to make it easy for me to pick it up on my turn.
Yeah.
And Dan is now stuck with a beast. And what that means is anytime you have an action where you are in a room with an enemy, you have to fight the enemy.
Correct.
And so Dan is on his second action, and so he has to fight the enemy.
Let's go for it. Let's see who we're going to fight. You draw a random enemy card.
Enemy, oh, lucky for you, it is what appears on the screen here. The intern.
Oh, good.
All right.
The intern is the weakest enemy.
And what you'll see on this card is a number in the top right corner, which is essentially the enemy's strength. And then there's a description of the enemy, and then a skill for each enemy. And like we mentioned earlier, if your skill matches the enemy's skill, you can re-roll when you're fighting against that enemy. Dan does match with this enemy, so he should be able to dispatch the intern fairly easily. And Dan, you just have to equal the number, correct?
Yeah.
All right, so he just has to roll a 2 on 2 rolls. So if he loses to this enemy, yikes.
I deserve it if that happens.
Right.
Yeah, I'm going to give her a roll, and there you go. Done.
Right. So the enemy is defeated, and his mini is removed. And one thing that came up too, Dan, that we didn't know the answer to was when we defeat the enemies, do we shuffle the cards directly back in, or is it in a discard pile?
I put it down at the bottom of the deck because you may encounter more enemies than their enemy cards, and they just come back through.
Sounds good. All right, so that's the end of Dan's turn.
The decryption code because I defeated him.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
Come in handy later. When you defeat an enemy, you take their little decryption code they carry with them in their wallets, and later on, when we're in the end game, those are very helpful. You don't need them, but it's nice to have, and it gives you a little reward for defeating the enemy.
All right, so it's my turn. I'm going to, of course, pick up this QR code. Thank you, Dan, for finding it.
Good for you.
And then what that means is I can take one of these little markers. I now have a QR code. But the interesting thing is, so even if Dan kept searching and I kept stealing his QR codes, I still need to successfully search all 4 rooms. So I can't just hang around and wait and hope that he finds everything for me. So that was my first action. For my second action, I'm going to go ahead and search the server room. And, all right, found it. And we do the same thing. I look, the first card is the meet and greet, and that's where the QR code will appear. And then the open bar again. Sorry, man.
Oh, boy.
Dan has an enemy on him again, and that's the end of my turn. And I also get a rooms investigate.
Correct.
All right, you're up.
Move the doomsday clock down 1 notch.
Okay.
And it feels like you have a lot of time when you start, and then it starts feeling like it's going by very rapidly.
Yeah, towards the end, it gets, especially if you get some bad lost turns or you get caught in rooms with enemies a lot, things
Mhm.
can hustle you up pretty bad towards the end.
You can have a lot of enemies on the board at once. I included 6 plus a boss enemy, which would make this board very crowded. And the reason why you still have to investigate all the rooms, even if you pick up someone else's card, is that doesn't leave anyone stranded where they have no ability to generate new QR code fragments and get them. So
Right.
everyone stays in the game until the end. So let's see. I guess I got to find this guy. All
Yeah.
right. Oh, so let's pull an enemy card and see who we're fighting.
Right. Cold as ice.
Ooh.
As cold as ice. Whatever you do, don't get caught in the frozen cone of influence of this dead-eyed PR assassin. All right, his skill is spyware, so this is your only shot to roll yourself a
Okay.
3 here.
I'm gonna go for it. Oh, and I got a 6. Great, good for me.
Right. Dan now has 2 encryption codes for defeating that
Correct.
enemy. And now what do you? Oh, I'll move his away. Now what?
Okay, now I'm gonna go up to the meet and greet because there's a QR token there. I can't get it yet, but at least I can be in the same room with it.
Oh man, I'm such an idiot. I had a card that would have helped me last turn, and I didn't play it.
See, those gear cards are very powerful. You have to pay attention to which ones you have.
Gotta pay attention.
I do the same thing all the time.
All right, so I'm gonna move to the conference room. I'm gonna try to deal with these bad areas right out of the gate here, and I'm gonna search the conference room. All right. Counter card. Last year's phone. Time slows to a crawl, much like your phone's mobile processor. Next turn, take only 1 action.
Mm.
Okay, so I got to remember that my next turn I only take 1 action, but I lose a turn because I failed.
Quickly here. It never feels that you're never sitting around for too long.
Yeah, so I'm down for next turn because I was in the red room, and that's fine. And so that's the end of my turn. We knock down the Doomsday Clock, and you're up, Dan.
All right, cool. Well, I'm going to pick up that QR code right there and give myself credit for it right here on my board. And I got to say, I love how great this works with the dashboard and the little markers and everything.
Oh, thanks.
How easy it is to translate.
Yeah. So we for viewers at home who have followed my my streams in the past, the dashboard we used hand scanning to scan that in because the actual dashboard cards are a little bit too big to fit in our scanning box. They're a little bit too tall. But we used hand scanning to bring those in, and then I took a little photo of Dan's X piece. They're very tiny. They look like this. If you can even see that, they're little 3D printed X's. And I took a photo of those and cropped them out and then brought them into the game. So yeah, this took me, 5 minutes beforehand of just sort of like piecing together how I wanted to play it and how I wanted to get the components in. And then this is the result. So, okay.
Cool. So that's number 1. And now I'm going to search that room because I'm there, the meet and greet room. And I'm going to roll a die in order to do that. Hey, I got a 2. All right. Success for me. So before I forget, I'm going to give myself credit for investigating that room, which is room 3.
QR code is going to spawn in the server room, and the enemy is going to spawn in the press room.
Ooh, rough.
Yeah, not the best.
These are dangerous times, man.
Yeah. All right, so I'm going to stand up because my turn was over, and then that's the end, and we're on to 15. So, as I mentioned, that's a red square on the Doomsday Clock, and so now I get to pull out a new event card here. And it says, The Darkening Sky. The glass windows facing out onto the Techlandia campus darken. Unearthly wind howls past. It's funny, you don't recall Alexa saying anything about bad weather today. Looking outside, clouds swirl in a tight spiral overhead as a murder of crows circles just below. That's probably not a good sign. Each player draws 1 encounter card. And here's your encounter.
Okay.
We control the news cycle. War is peace, freedom is slavery, ignorance is strength. Suffer 1 reality distortion hit to your objectivity. We didn't mention objectivity, but essentially objectivity is acting as hit points.
Yeah.
And if you were to lose a fight, you lose objectivity. If you run out of objectivity, you have become a pawn of Techlandia. You no longer can report on them objectively, and now you're doing their bidding. And you actually kind of walk around the board as an enemy for how long?
Until you reach the next red spot.
The next red spot.
Doomsday Clock.
Yep.
And that was a great lesson I learned early on from some game theory books I had been reading. People don't like getting out of the game. You have to find a way for them, even if they lose, to remain in it. So they remain invested. And then I took that one step further and said, if you lose all your hit points, you're out for a while. You can act as a kind of an NPC almost, but then you get to come back. You've suffered disadvantage because of that, but no one is ever permanently out.
Yep. Yeah, and I think that's neat. Hopefully it doesn't happen to either of us. We're gonna find out. We're gonna try to stay objective here, Dan.
Right.
All right. So then my event is keep the line moving. I'm going to need to keep this section clear. The tech cultists shoo the crowd away. Move to any adjacent room.
Oh, okay.
So I'm actually going to move right into the press room.
Okay.
Because I need to start knocking some guys down so I can get some decryption code.
That's a good point.
The end game. So, okay. So that's the end of that. And now it is your turn.
Okay. Okay. Let's see. I have investigated those 2 rooms, and I've only got 1 QR code. I am going to play a gear card, I think. Let's see. I'm going to play this card that I have highlighted right here. It says PR guy owes you a favor.
Yep. And you got to flip that one over, Dan. If you double click it, then the stream will be able to see it. No, did you double click it?
Oh, double click it. Okay.
Yeah. Okay, there you go. Yep.
There you go. I see. Okay. PR guy owes you a favor. You scratch my back. You know what I mean? And you can send yourself to any room.
All right.
So I'm going to send myself to the server room.
First.
And because it's a gear card, that does not actually, the gear cards are so powerful, they don't count as actions. You can play 5 of them if you wanted to, if it made sense. So I still have 2 actions left. One of them, I'm going to take this QR code.
All right.
Nice. And then I guess I'll search this room because I have to do that also. All
right, good luck.
I'm gonna roll that die, and I lost one of my. Oh, how should I discard this card?
So if you select, if you click on it, there's a little trash can button.
Okay.
Just hit it, and it'll
bye bye. Oh, that was cool. Cool animation.
Yeah, it just gets flushed down the toilet.
Hey, look at that!
Wow, you are rolling hot tonight.
The dice are with me tonight. So I'm going to give myself credit for room 1 being investigated.
Right, and then your QR code is going to appear in the conference.
Ooh.
Nice, because that's where you're headed. And the enemy is going to appear in the server room.
Oh.
All right, he saw you snooping around, and he said, hey, you don't have a lanyard. You're not supposed to be here.
All the bad guys are basically PR guys in suits.
Yeah.
Very Stepford Wives, but dudes.
Yeah. Stepford dudes.
Stepford dudes.
Okay, so it's my turn. I have to fight. And so we're going to see what we got from an enemy. Oh, no. We have the ex-journalist. Boo. Once a colleague, now hardly recognizable in a regulation fleece vest and allbirds as he stares you down with barely disguised disdain. So his skill is disinformation. My skill is not disinformation. And so I'm going to have to fight him. I need to match or exceed his strength, and so off we go. All right, so I got crushed by him, but I am going to use the hip flask, which lets me re-roll 1 die for any reason. I just cannot lose any more turns here, people. Oh,
man.
All right. I'm doing it again. Extra business cards. Re-roll 1 die for any reason.
Nice. See, look at that. Those have really come in handy.
I'm trying to kill this guy. Come on now.
It's your dice algorithm, man.
I roll a 1, and then a 2, and then a 3. Okay, so I'm out of gear cards that can help me with this problem. So I suffer 1 damage to my objectivity. And then, do I end up back in the welcome center?
Yes, and then you
Okay.
get bounced back, which sometimes is a good thing, frankly.
Yeah, it got me out of the room, I guess.
Yeah,
So
that's exactly it. You scurry away.
yeah, I just don't know what to think anymore, and then I run off to the welcome center. Okay, so that's the end of the turn. So we're down to 14, and you're up, Dan.
All right, cool. Oh, there we go. Great. So let's see. I have to fight this guy.
Yeah.
Do I have anything that's going to help me if I need to? I do have one thing that'll let me re-roll. So let's see who we're going to fight first.
Okay. Your enemy is the Jargon
Oh,
Gorgon.
a dangerous one.
So the Jargon Gorgon, this unctuous beast hypnotizes audiences with nonstop jargon, never using one word when a dozen bigger ones will do. And his skill is his or her really, because we can't tell. It looks like a Lovecraftian horror here. Their skill is spyware. So
Oh, see, that would have helped you.
would have helped me. So I'll put him up here just to kind of keep track of him. All right, so
Cool.
you need a 5 to take this one down.
All right. See, that's one of the more dangerous ones,
Yeah.
and I very deliberately kept away from gender pronouns in most of these, so I
Yeah.
would be accused of making them all guys or making one of want to keep it nice for everybody.
Yeah. I'm not sure that you
Oh,
can.
not even close.
Yeah. Oy.
That's all right. I'm going to use this smooth talker card.
Right.
I always give good gab, and I can re-roll one die. So I'm going to delete that now, and I'm going to give myself another shot.
Come on.
Mm. All right, all right. Well, I guess I'm taking. You know what? I'm out of little markers here.
Oh, you can if you select one.
Uh
This is a good mode. If you select it and click it, there's a little copy button in the bottom right.
huh. Oh, look at that. Nice.
There you go.
Excellent. So I'm gonna give myself a second hit to my objectivity.
Yeah, you're in danger there.
That does. That does.
Okay, so I'm up, and I have still only investigated one room, but I'm gonna go to the open bar and I'm gonna investigate. Let's see. Come on, baby. Nice. Who made this thing?
Yeah, seriously.
Who made this?
Was this from GitHub, this little dice thing?
We got to talk. You know what I should have done? I should have a little separate keypad over here where I can change the dice results on the
That's
fly.
right.
If you're gonna build,
reroll opportunities,
yeah,
we have burned a lot of them already due to some poor dice rolling.
right, yeah, exactly. All right, so help wanted. Techlandia is hiring. I wonder if I can pass my resume to someone. Spawn an enemy at your location. Just about as bad a result as I could have hoped. Okay, so you're. Oh, that's the end of the turn, right?
Let's see.
Did I just go? Did I just go first?
1, 2. Yeah, I think you did.
I
That's
think
all right.
I think I jumped in front of you, so it's your turn.
We were having so much fun.
Yeah. Yep.
Now, let's see. I am going to now go back to the. There's a guy waiting for me in the server room, isn't there? I'm going to go up to the security room.
Okay.
And then over to the. I'm going to go to the press room. I need to get some more cards. I'm going to fight this guy. And I'm going to try to get another gear card. But I'll have to wait for my next turn to do that.
Yep. So we're down to 13. And now you're supposed to go first.
Okay, so I'm going to go first. I'm going to fight this guy. And that is still the externalist.
Yes. Yep.
And he has got a 4. So I think we used up all our low rolls. So now it's nothing but 5s and 6s.
Yeah, that's how I programmed it.
I can't believe that.
Yeah. Yeesh. Okay, so you don't have anything to save yourself from that?
Let's see. You know what? I do, but I needed to play it beforehand. The first time I would play this card I have.
Okay, so you just took a 3rd hit.
Yeah, that's it.
Oh man.
It is over. Hang on, let me copy this so I can make one more.
Yeah, one more
thing today. But it's also kind of fun too.
Yeah, playing the bad guy. All right, so do you just stay where you are when you first become the bad guy?
I believe I've never had such bad luck where it's happened to me so quickly in a game.
Yeah.
I believe you go back to the welcome center.
Okay.
And then I put aside. I lose my last gear card I have. I'm gonna nuke that.
Okay.
Which is too bad. It was remove any enemy from the board, so I should have just used that.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
That happens. Okay, so I return to welcome center. Set aside my dashboard, including all this all this other stuff. I still have it, but I just can't use that right now.
Yep.
And until the doomsday clock hits the next red marker, I am a zombified fanboy.
Ugh.
So there you go.
Awful.
Unfortunately.
Okay, so it's now my turn. Still on this turn, you're not wandering the Techlandia Earth yet, and I have to fight this guy. So this is a new bad guy.
Yes.
Yep. So move this X.
Mm-hmm.
Then I'm gonna spawn a new bad guy. This is Fast and Loose. Why issue a no comment when an outright lie will do? Once heard him mutter something about serving a greater truth. But was that a lie as well? All right, his skill is disinformation. I swear, I'm never gonna find anybody. That's awesome.
Oh, man.
We just got a cat on the stream. Just a cat zoomed by. That's good.
Haunted cat.
Yeah. So I'm never gonna find anybody that actually has this has my spyware that I can fight.
We're getting to the worst case scenario playthrough here, which just shows you how simple the game is, but also how vicious it can be.
Yeah, and it definitely once the tide starts turning, it can be a real problem. All right, so I need a 3 to take this guy down.
Easy.
Sure. Okay. Got
Yeah.
him. All right. Okay, so he's down. That means that I finally get a out of there, and then you're gonna catch me no matter where I go, right? Like, because you can take 2 actions.
Let's see. I guess so. Well, I suppose so. But I'm also easy to beat because I'm just a zombie.
Right. So I'm gonna take this opportunity. To search the open bar, because you're gonna be on me next turn anyway. So, all right, here we go. Nope. I am just about the worst journalist that you could ever imagine. I'm snooping around, but I just keep like checking my own pockets over and over and over.
No wonder they didn't invite you to this event.
It's exactly right. Escape the smelly guy. Ever been to the last day of Comic-Con? Roll 1 die and move to a random room to escape. Wait, I don't understand that.
I'm sorry. Now that we've changed the location randomizer from a die roll to pulling from the location deck,
right?
You pull a location deck.
Oh, okay. Pull a location. See where we're gonna go. Hopefully to the conference room. Come on. The open bar.
Oh no!
All right, so I just hid behind.
Sometimes these encounters can have beneficial, they're usually not roses, but occasionally you get one.
Sometimes they work out. They get you out of a room when you're in there with a bad guy. Yeah. Okay, so we are down to 12, and we're gonna be running out of time here pretty quick, Dan.
Four even dice rolls and the right things will turn it all back around.
Yeah, true. All right, so you go first, and you're the and you're the zombie.
I am zombified, so I have to follow you and go into the room with you.
It comes. And now we just fight, right? On your turn? Or is it? Does it have to wait until my turn to fight?
It's over now, but now it's your turn. So
okay, cool.
It's my time, and I'm worth a 3.
Okay, so we got to fight, and here we go.
Oh, come on!
The rolls they just keep coming.
Oh.
Okay, so that means I take a hit to objectivity.
Actually, I'm going to read you. Defeated by a fanboy. Let's see. The non-fanboy player loses 1 item in the following order: a gear card if they have any.
And I have one.
Okay, great. If not, then a decryption code, blah, blah, blah. In any case, the fanboy, see, it's not as dangerous as fighting the big bad guy.
Okay, so you just lose some stuff.
Yeah, you lose an item. In any case, the fanboy always beams back to the welcome center after a fight, so I'm not going to haunt you.
Cool. Okay. Although you go first, so you are going to haunt me.
All you gotta do is get a 3.
Yeah, exactly.
Do you have to move the clock forward again?
Well, so that was my first action on my turn.
Oh, that's right. You have another action.
So I got another action. So I'm going to search this room. I swear, I'm just going to keep searching this room. You know what's happening is I'm in the open bar. And I just keep getting the very weak vodka tonics, and I'm just pouring them back.
You gotta pound them in order to get any kind of effect. I get it. That's why that's there. All
Yes.
right, see, now it's working.
All right, so
You tipped the bartender really good last round, then he hooked you up.
yeah. Oh, whoops. All right, so my thing appears in
Nice.
enemy appears in the press room.
Ooh, that press room's getting dangerous.
Yeah, that. Okay, so that's the end of the turn, and then we're down to 11, and you're up.
All right. So I'm gonna have to chase you down again. It's my robotic programming.
Oh man. Okay. You're in, and now it's my turn, right?
Yep.
So I got to fight you, and I am going to roll a 3+. I swear I'm going to do it.
Right. There you go.
All right. So then you get blasted back to the welcome
To
center,
the welcome center again.
and then
And you keep all your stuff.
I'm going to get up to the meet and greet.
Okay.
And that's my second action. So we're totally done.
Mm-hmm.
And you're back. And now we're on a 10, so you're back.
That's right.
You shook off the chains of Techlandia, and you're back to your senses.
I've lost some time getting stuff, but I get to get back into the game. And again, a couple of lucky rolls, and I could possibly pull this out.
Yeah, I like that as a more fair penalty. I don't think anybody likes to, be retired and then watch everybody else play. All right, so here's the event. Do you hear voices? The low electronic hum that underlies everything in the building fades. In its place, you hear faint whispering that seems to come from under the floor. The lights flicker for a moment, and you could swear something brushes by you in the darkness. The lights come back on, the hum returns, but you sense something has changed. So things are getting creepy at this event, people. We both have to draw an encounter card. And here's yours. No bottled water allowed. Lose 1 gear card. You don't have any.
I don't have any because I haven't resurrected yet, but at the end of this, I'll resurrect.
All right, and then mine is a dead phone battery, which is just about the worst thing in the world. 2 hours of battery life from a $1,000 phone. Sounds about right. You can see every one of these cards does have a pithy statement on it, which I appreciate. Move to the press room to recharge. Great.
That's good and bad at the same time.
Okay, so I'm in the press room with these two big boys here. Okay, so
I get, now that I've been resurrected.
Yep.
I go back to the welcome center, which I'm at. I reclaim my dashboard, which is cool. I reset my objectivity, so I'm going to take these 3 markers off now.
Okay.
Put them over here for later use. And I get to draw 1 gear card as a little pick-me-up.
Okay. The swag that you got from the company, what objectivity was?
You can't leave somebody bleeding on the floor. You got to give them a little something to make them feel
right. Yeah.
You're getting somewhere.
Let's see, this guy doesn't want to scan it.
Okay. There it goes.
And you can just double click that. Yeah, like then people can, then I can see it. I can see it on my end if you double click it.
Yeah. And that is a Beta OS upgrade. I can take an extra action during a turn, which is pretty darn useful.
Yeah, that is nice.
It's funny now with the Samsung Galaxy Fold debacle this past week.
Oh yeah,
phone that keeps breaking. I may have to come up with some new cards.
Yeah. So sidebar. Are they not releasing that phone? Is that what I read?
They are pushing it back. It was, I think, going to start shipping in a week or two.
Yep.
Clearly not quite ready yet. They sent out a bunch of them, and a huge number of them died right away for various reasons. I got to play with one for a little while. I mean, it seemed perfectly nice. You could still feel a little crease in the middle, but I could see how it was very delicate, and I just feel like it needs to be tougher. They need to ruggedize it.
Yeah.
But it's the future of phones. Without a doubt, in 5 years, everyone will have the flexible screen phone.
Yeah, I mean, it would be awesome to have a phone that could be that big just in your pocket, But yeah, it doesn't seem like it's baked all the way. Okay, so you are back. You have a gear card, and it's your turn.
All right, so I only have to investigate 1 room, and that's the conference room where there's also a QR code, which is great. So I am going to go up to security for 1 move and over to the conference room for 2. just to get myself all set up.
And I'm just over here. I'm just dealing with these two guys over here, Dan. You don't worry about it. You just do your searching. I got it under control.
That's why it's co-op repetitive.
Yes. All right. So I have to fight them. Do I get to choose the order?
That's a good question. I'm going to say, knock yourself out.
All right. So I'm going to fight. I'm feeling like I'm only going to roll a 4 here. So I'm going to fight the ex-journalist.
Yeah.
So here we go.
Oh, man.
Awful.
Are you sure we don't have to reprogram the dice roller?
Does.
Let's see, what did I get? I got a 3 just rolling a die right here.
Yeah. Okay. So then I'm gonna I lose an objectivity point, and then I'm gonna fight again, and I can feel the dice coming on.
I like it.
I'm gonna fight the Gorgon.
Okay. All right. Look at that.
We took down the big guy. All right. So the Gorgon's dead.
You get a decryption code.
Still alive. I haven't lost all my objectivity yet. That was my 2 actions, and so we're done with the whole turn. You're up.
Cool. Now, if you want to do a fully cooperative version, I have sketched one out where basically you are fully cooperative, but you share the objectivity points. So once the team gets 3, that's it. The evil wins.
Okay, so there's a higher risk there.
Yeah.
But you get double the actions.
It makes for a nice, quick, fully cooperative game. And when you do it solo, and it works great solo or with 2 players, 45 minutes to an hour. And if you do 3 or 4 players, it's usually about 90 minutes. It feels like it's going fast. And then when you have a lot of players, it goes on for a bit longer, but never too long. Because I wanted to make one of the key things you'll see down here on the board is I wanted to make something that would fit on a human-sized table.
Yes.
Particularly as a New York apartment dweller.
Yep. Yeah. Anytime I play a game that could fit on like one of those long tables at a brewery. Yeah. That's it. That's it right there. Perfect.
And I love that stuff. I love tile games, but I have to get down on the floor and spread them out, and I'm too old for my back.
Yeah. The thing that irks me, and I'm going to sound like an old person here too, is that the unpredictable nature of the tile laying. So you start with the dang starter tile right in the middle. Yeah. And then you're like, well, it could be that we fall off the table in 10 turns, and then am I going to move every single tile back? I can't be bothered. So, thank you for having a tile layout that is defined from the start.
Design philosophy here. Yeah. Human-sized, apartment-sized table.
Cool.
So I'm going to pick up that QR code. Hooray for me, because we're running out of time, and we need some good luck here.
Yep.
I'm going to give myself credit for that.
Cool.
And I've got to search that room.
Come on, man.
So, all right, here we go. What's my 1 card? I can take an extra action. Oh, that's good. I might have to use that.
Ooh. Okay.
Man, listen, they can't all be winners. All right, I'll take an encounter card.
All right, blocked by a giant backpack. Some neckbeard with a massive Jansport is blocking the way. Head back to the Welcome Center to find another route.
Oh. That might be my favorite encounter card. You've never been to CES or E3 or any trade show like that, or a Comic-Con or anything. There's always some dude with a gigantic backpack just like blasting everybody.
Yeah, and at the board game events that I've been to, those board game backpacks are really popular. Those ones that hold like 8 board games or whatever. Mm-hmm. But they're also about 14 inches deep. So yeah, they're huge. Okay, so you lose a turn, so you're down.
Right. That was a red room.
I am going to fight this guy.
Go for it.
Here we go, ex-journalist. Finally coming up. All right, so that ex-journalist is down. I have my 3rd decryption.
Nice.
I'm not going to be the one to pull this off here, so those decryption codes are going to go to waste. But you never know. So there's nothing to search in the press room, but I'm going to use my 2nd action to grab a gear card.
Good idea.
Goes for news. Automatic success when investigating any room. That's a nice card.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's the end of the round. We're down to 8. And Dan will stand up. And then I will...
Go again?
Yeah, I'm going to go... Let's see, where do I want to go? Definitely want to go to the conference room because I haven't searched there yet. And then I am going to search, and I'm going to use this for automatic success.
Mm-hmm.
where those QR codes go. QR code is going to go into the server room. Server room, sorry. And the enemy is going to go into the conference room. So perfect. Just we're keeping up our
luck here. Listen, when you fight the man, that's what happens.
Yeah, exactly. There's just corporations. Okay, so I'm back in dire straits, and now we lose a round to 7, and now you're up.
All right, so let's see. I still have to investigate the conference room, but I also have to get a one more QR code. So I am going to. Oh, I got a great idea. I'm going to spend 1 move going to the open bar.
Okay.
1 action going up to meet and greet.
Okay.
And then I'm going to use this card, the Beta OS upgrade, to allow me to take an extra turn.
Okay.
Or an extra action during my turn, I should say.
Yep.
And I'm going to use that to take that QR code.
All right, so you're good on QR codes. You just got to examine the conference room.
The thing of investigating room 2. I gotta swing by there after you defeat that bad guy.
Yeah, I'll take care of that for you. No problem. Okay, so let's see who I'm fighting. All right, I'm fighting a dude bro. He's always the life of the party, but definitely hiding something behind those mirrored shades. His skill is memes, and still my skill is spyware, so I'm not going to get a benefit. But he's only a 3, so
they're evenly distributed among the bad guys.
Yeah, yeah. Oh yeah, we're just getting bad pulls so far for me. All right, here we go. Coming up.
There we go. Our luck is changing.
Yeah, the tide is turning. Okay, so he's gone. I'm full up on decryption codes, so I don't get a 3rd.
Benefit.
And then
does no one any good.
All right, so you stole that that QR code that I found. Or no, the QR code I found was down in the server.
Oh yeah.
I'm going to. Oh man.
I'd investigate just to get those out there.
Yeah, I guess just to get me some more QR codes. Yeah. Oh, but it's a red room. That's why I just don't want to lose a turn, you know. But I'll do it. We're towards the end here. I gotta.
Tiles. You could get all blue rooms and not have any red rooms, or you could get all red rooms, and that's why you have this variance between games.
Right. All right, I found it.
Nice.
The welcome center.
And
the enemy is in the server room.
Ooh, that's gonna be a tough one to pick up.
All right. So that's the end of that round. And you're up, Dan.
All right. Let's move the let's see, we're down to 6.
Yeah.
There's a way this all works out for everybody. So let's see. I'm gonna go through, I guess, the press room to the well, I think I have enough turns left. You know what? I'm gonna be a little greedy here.
You're gonna go for a card?
I'm gonna go to the press room and take a card.
We're playing with fire here. I like it.
If we were down to like 4 or 3, I wouldn't do that.
Right.
But we still have a bunch of turns left. So I'm going to flip that over, add that to my hand. Move it over here, and that is pricey grad school degree, and I can add another skill for a fight, which basically gives me a reroll.
Reroll. Okay, cool. Okay, so that is the end of your turn, and. I mean, I have to get that QR code. But
there are gear cards to let you just wipe out enemies or have automatic wins.
Yeah, so you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to move over to meet and greet and just be done. I got to investigate those anyway, and then I'll worry about picking up the QR codes. Okay, so that's the end of my turn. We are down to 5, which means we have a new event. Trouble is coming. All right, something's seriously wrong with that guy, the title says. Shambling around the corner comes a lone figure dressed in the suit and tie uniform of a Techlandia executive. His feature is replaced by a horrifying tangle of teeth and tentacles. That probably doesn't play well on his Tinder profile. Or maybe it does. People are weird. Each player draws 1 encounter card. Spawn 1 executive monster. Okay, so when we spawn that, do we do it using the location deck?
Correct.
Okay. That was one thing also I didn't know what to do on my first
Yeah, there's been a shift where we used to do spawns based on a die, and I just thought there was just too much die rolling.
Yeah. All right.
So
So we're gonna spawn the executive monster. I'm gonna hold up this mini because I do like this mini a lot. Essentially, it looks like a person in a suit. Get a good, but he's got kind of like just like a tentacle. It's like what are those in D&D? A mind flare, right? Those guys with the octopus face.
Yeah, it's very Cthulhu, and the standee version of him looks like this.
About the same, yeah. Okay.
Yeah, behind a suit, but monster head.
All right, so he is in the welcome center. Great, because he's just on my QR code.
Oh man.
Okay, and then we each get an encounter card.
Yep.
Your encounter card is influencer chats you up. Fake a sudden coma. Play dead. Lose 1 turn while you wait for him or her to move on. That's stuck with an influencer, and that might really hurt you.
Mm-hmm.
Skip past a slow guy. Today, Junior, move 1 bonus space in any direction.
Look at that. Nice.
I don't really want it. I guess I'll just go to the open bar. I still have to search there. Okay, so we're gonna go down to. Oh no! Now we're still on 5 because those were the 2 encounters. You don't go down. You are losing this turn. So you stand up. You'll be ready.
That press room.
Yeah, you'll be ready next turn, and then I am gonna search the open bar. Come on, baby.
All right, nice.
All right. So QR code shows up in the meet and greet. Enemy shows up in the conference. He can just hang out there because nobody needs to go to the conference room.
I have to go to the conference room.
Oh, do you?
Yep.
Oh no! Sorry.
That's all right. I got some gear.
Yeah. Okay. So I get the benefit of having searched room number 4, and our thing goes down, and it is your turn, Dan.
Oof. All right. This is where it gets a little. This is where I would stop being competitive with someone else and encourage them and try to help them win because a few turns left. So because I'm in the conference room, I guess I'm gonna go. Boy, I could stay in there and pull another gear card and then go fight the guy.
Yeah, maybe you'll get something good.
Yeah, let me do that. I'm gonna pull another gear card. They're really worth it. There are some that can move QR codes across the board to wherever you are.
Right, there are some valuable ones in there. Plus, they don't count as action, so it's like buying an action.
Which is why you only get a few, and it's hard to get other ones. All right, let's see. Drag this over here so I can see it. Sweet kicks. You gain height. Move 2 spaces for the cost of a single action.
Which might be helpful to get out of the building.
That is exactly right.
All right, so then you're going to move in with him, huh?
And then I'm going to go into the conference room.
Okay. So
my turn, but next turn I'll fight that dude.
All right, so I'm going to move up to the meet and greet, and then I guess I'll just grab the QR code.
And that's also the last room you have to investigate. So you're making good progress too.
Yeah. Yep.
But they're on the board already.
Did we do something wrong?
Let's see. Maybe you didn't give yourself credit for investigating a room.
So with those 2 on the board, something happened. Either we didn't take it off the board after somebody picked it up.
Maybe that's what it was.
Yeah.
We were too busy having fun.
Yeah. Yep. I don't think I ever searched the meet and greet. After this, I'm going to go frame by frame through the video on demand, and I'm going to find out. I'm not going to do that, but I'm going to say that we incorrectly. I'm going to choose one at random. I'll make this one. This one we'll just take. There's one more to generate. All right. So now I have to knock it down to 3. I just finished.
We just finished. So yeah.
Man, I don't know if we're gonna get out.
This is what happens, and yet we're so close.
Yep. All right, you're up.
Okay, if I beat this guy and search this room successfully, then I can make a beeline for the security center and try to use my QR codes, which of course are a separate deck, which you see down there at the bottom, and of course, they're actual QR codes.
Yeah, it's cool. Like when we get to that point, even if we don't make it, we'll show
Oh
you
yeah,
we'll show
yeah,
you what that looks like just to kind of
yeah.
experience it. All right, so you just drew the old timer,
Ooh,
and the old timer needs a 4 to defeat.
yeah, here we go.
And his unlined face shows no evidence of advanced years. You joke that he must have an aging portrait in an attic somewhere. He smiles politely, but you notice an unconscious twitch in his left eye. All right, have at it.
Okay, what's his skill? Spyware. That doesn't help me much. So I'm going to use my grad school degree card to add that as my skill, so I get a reroll no matter what.
All right, go get him.
Okay, here we go. Oh, didn't even need it. All right, 6, got him.
Right.
Oh, and that's good because I don't have that third decryption code.
Right, so now you have the 3 decryption codes.
That's great.
Right, so he's
so
off.
you're going to generate a QR code and.
Okay, so now you just got to investigate.
That's right. Let's see. What does this card do for me?
It's 2 spaces, right? Yeah.
Here I go. Mother. Oh.
And so you lose a turn. I think that might have done us in right there.
Yeah, that could be the end, but it was touch and go up until the very end.
Scooped by the competition. In online news, seconds count. Give one of your gear cards to another player. If solo, lose 1 gear.
Okay, so you get my card.
So you can delete that one.
How can I give this to you?
Oh, I just picked it up off the ground.
Okay, great.
Because I still have the physical card.
Right.
So, all right, so I picked up your sweet kicks, and I'm giving me the very shoes off of your feet, Dan.
That's right.
Okay, so now it's my turn, and I'm going to search the meet and greet.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Nice.
Create the QR code. QR code's in the press room, and an enemy is in the welcome center. Fine. You guys
that's good. Look at this. I think we might have some good luck here.
Out down there. Well, that server room is really the problem. I'm never going to get that thing.
That is a problem. I will admit.
Okay, so I just picked up my final search, and I'll step up into the press room, and that's the end of my turn.
Okay.
And now we're going to go down to 2. You're going to stand up.
All right, I'm going to search this room.
Well, no, you lose this turn.
That's right, I lost this turn. Damn
so
it.
You're going to hang out. I'm going to pick up this QR code. Now I have 3. Then I'm going to use these sweet kicks. Run this server room. I can take 2 steps.
Mm-hmm.
And so there. Oh, no. Before I do. Oh, no, I have to use an action. So,
okay.
All right. So, yeah, that's the end of my turn. And we're down to 1, Dan.
I know, but we're so close also.
All right, so here we go.
Look how that turned around the last couple of turns where we've both got, you have all the rooms investigated and you're missing 1 code. I have all the codes, I'm missing 1 room, and we're so close.
The snoozer awakens. It's your last shot at getting past security before the Techlandia TX1 phone is unleashed. In millions of hands, the combined energy of all those phones sending coded signals across the globe may be enough to open a portal to another realm of existence. Or Newark. Both are bad. The executive monster moves 1 space towards the security checkpoint. That's bad because now if anybody wants to go in there to use the QR code, they'd have to fight the executive monster.
Yeah.
Yep. So, okay, it's Dan's turn.
All right. I'm going to search this room one more time. Let's go for it. Really? Well, we've doomed the Earth.
Now we are well and truly destroyed.
A couple of different rolls, and we could have pulled it out.
Yeah, I think we are fairly close. Yeah. Don't you know who I am? Bold strategy. Let's see if it pays off. Roll 1 die. Success, bonus action. Failure, advance the doomsday.
Oh! All right.
Okay, so that's success.
A bonus action I can bank.
Yeah. Okay. All right, so then on my turn, I'm gonna fight these fools, and this is for me. This is to take these guys down. I don't care that the world's ending, but I'm gonna take a piece out of one. Oh no, it's the Grudge Holder, 5.
Ooh, that's a tough one.
Yeah. and he's disinformation, not spyware. So I didn't
Ooh.
get lucky. All right, so I'm gonna fight the grudge holder here. That's
Oh,
it.
so close.
All right, so I have been defeated. I'm back at the Welcome Center because I got my objectivity maxed out to death. So that's it.
It doesn't really matter because we were at the we moved down to the 0.
We are at the 0. So I will
You read the 0 card.
I will read the death of us. The title of the 0 card is "Rip My Mentions." R.I.P. my mentions and all life as we know it. A red light snaps on over the elevators. Techlandia CEO Charles Ward has taken the stage, and the underground auditorium is locked down for the TX1 phone introduction. If you've made it inside, you're one step closer to unraveling a vast interdimensional conspiracy. If you haven't, there's nothing to do but wait for the skies to open and endless horrors to pour forth across the void. Game over, man. Game over. I like the 80s movie references. I like them.
Yes.
And that's the end of the game. So essentially we lost. We were pretty close though. I mean, Dan, those turn loses just killed you at the end. But if we were to make it to the security, the way that it works is there are 4 QR code cards, and you pull one at random, and then it's a functional QR code, and then you look at it with your phone. And since I'm using all my phones to play Vorpal here, I'm just going to hold this one up, and Dan's going to look at it with his phone.
Of course, with any modern iPhone or Android phone, your camera will read the code automatically. There it is. It's going to open up. I'm going to click on it.
It's neat. It'll take you to a site,
and
that site will tell you. There it is.
It says, "Thank you. Your code has been scanned successfully. Please proceed to the elevator for entry."
So that would have been a success. That would have been a win condition.
We would have won.
But if you had, so let's say I pulled a fail right there, you could keep burning decryption codes to pull more cards. So essentially, if you have all 3 decryption codes when you make it to the security station, you're guaranteed a victory.
Correct.
Or you're guaranteed a successful scan.
Yes. Then you still have to have, you need those 2 steps to get up to the elevator, but that's it.
So that has it has that little gadgety kind of end to it, which is neat.
I love the technology, and there's a way to, there'll be a little note in the instructions about how to fake it if you don't have a scannable, you're somewhere where there's no phone service.
Sure.
It's just a 1 out of 4 random generator.
Cool. So that's good. I mean, I think I've only ever played it 2 players, but it goes up to 4, correct?
It does, just because people want to have different experiences and not leave people out. But I think 2 is probably the ideal, although it really was built to strongly support solo, because I feel like that's super important for something that's kind of small and portable like this.
Yep, yeah, for sure. So hopefully everyone that is on the stream and saw us tonight enjoyed this playthrough. Dan, how is it playing it digitally?
You know what? I did not know what to expect, and I am so impressed by the implementation here and how usable and how clear everything was. And I love the dice rolling mechanic. I love being able to take the real parts, like the dashboard cards, and putting them off on the side and dragging the little markers onto them. I was impressed beyond my expectations. I gotta say.
All right, really cool. Oh yeah, the interesting thing is kind of like what you must have been thinking, like, what am I walking into? Like how
I test and review a lot of new tech, so I see a lot of stuff. Some of it's great, some of it's a train wreck. But I always go in, with an open mind. But you never know really how something's gonna, especially a live demo of basically beta software and beta hardware.
Yeah.
You never know what's gonna happen, and I think we had a nearly flawless implementation here.
Yeah, I think that went well. Your game works very well for the platform. Not every game does. Like there are mechanics that are more difficult to work, but this type of a game with light dice rolling, player movement, and then some components that you can move around is a good match for Vorpal. So I'm glad you had fun.
Awesome, man. Thank you so much for having me on to do this.
Yeah, of course. So are there any other kind of final plug type stuff you want to do? I know you've talked about the website and then the Kickstarter coming in August, but is there anything else you want to mention before we finish up?
Sure. If anybody wants to hit me up on Twitter, I'm just at Dan Ackerman. You can also find me on Facebook and follow me in the game there. Of course, techlandiagame.com is the website. Sign up now, and I'll let you know when the Kickstarter launches the first week of August. Thank you so much, James. This has been
Yeah,
a tremendous-
cool. Thank to you, Dan, and everybody on the stream. Obviously, the Vorpal board Kickstarter is currently live. If you haven't checked us out yet, just go over to Kickstarter and search for Vorpal board. We're making good progress. I think we're almost 40% towards our goal. And hopefully this was a good example of what the system is capable of. If you have questions, you always can reach out to me. I'm Vorpal board pretty much everywhere on all social media, Facebook, on Twitch, obviously, Twitter. So just reach out or go to vorpalboard.com and you can sign up for our newsletter. We're all plugging newsletters today. But yeah, thanks for being here tonight, Dan, and good luck with the August Kickstarter. I'll be keeping my eye on it.
Thank you, and to you.
And everybody watching Vorpal stuff, we will be streaming again probably Monday. The team stream will be going on. And I think we're going to be playing Splendor. That's the current plan. So come and check us out Monday night. And everybody have a great weekend. Thank you.